Ever find yourself wondering about the how in Spanish? Like, not just what someone did, but how they actually did it.
Yeah,
Today, we're plunging into a really fascinating corner of Spanish grammar. Will instantly give your understanding more depth and color.
absolutely. We're going to be exploring Spanish adverbs of manner, those crucial words that paint a picture of how an action unfolds.
Right.
Think of them as adding the style to the verb.
Exactly. And our compass for this journey, it's a brilliant lesson from the YouTube channel Jaime Lara Español, specifically their video titled Learn Spanish, los adverbios de modo.
Clase de gramática.
Ah, yeah, it's a really good one.
It's a fantastic resource.
And our goal today is, well, simple but powerful, to equip you with a solid understanding of how to form and use these adverbs correctly.
Okay.
This will allow you to express yourself in Spanish with greater precision and nuance. We'll break down the essential rules and also highlight some of the more intriguing exceptions,
Good.
making sure you feel confident and informed, not, bogged down.
Okay, so let's get right to it. What in the world are adverbs of manner exactly?
Well, in essence, adverbs of manner are words that tell us or point out how something is done.
How? Okay.
They describe the form or the way in which someone performs an action.
So they're all about answering that fundamental question. ¿Cómo? How?
Precisely. The video from Jaime Lara Español gives us a perfect illustration. Someone asks, ¿Cómo hiciste el examen? How did you do the exam?
Mm-hmm.
And a possible answer is, el examen lo hice tranquilo y concentrado. I did the exam calmly and concentrated. Here, tranquilo and concentrado,
Right.
the adjectives, describe the manner.
Right, the adjective.
Now, if we want to turn those into adverbs to describe how the exam was done, that's where the magic happens.
Right, I'm with you. So how do we work that magic? How do we actually form these adverbs of manner in Spanish? That famente ending, it rings a bell.
That's the key ingredient. The suffix mente is indeed the Spanish counterpart to the English sonomary.
Okay.
To create the majority of adverbs of manner, you start with an adjective, let's take tranquilo, meaning calm,
Uh-huh.
and then you add emente to its feminine singular form.
Okay, so tranquilo becomes
Tranquilamente.
calmly.
Tranquilamente. Got it.
Another example from the Jaime Lara Español video is amable, meaning kind, which transforms into amablemente, kindly.
Okay. But the video also touched on something about what happens with the adjectives ending vowel, didn't it?
Yes, that's a really important nuance. If the adjective ends in o, such as tranquilo or rápido, fast, you need to change that o to an a before you attach emamonde.
Okay. Change the O to an A.
Right, so tranquilo becomes tranquilamente and a rápido becomes rápidamente, quickly. That little vowel shift is crucial for getting it right.
Ah, that's good to know. What about adjectives that end in E or A? Does anything change there?
In those cases, it's simpler. You just keep the ending as it is and add amonte.
Oh, nice.
So amable becomes amablemente. Responsible becomes responsablemente, responsibly.
Right.
And even tonta silly becomes tontamente sillily. Okay, that's a pretty straightforward set of rules for forming them. Now, once we've got these emente words, what are the main rules for actually using them in sentences? Where do they typically go?
Okay, the first rule to remember is their usual spot in a sentence. Adverbs of manner generally follow the verb.
Follow the verb. Can you give us an example in action?
Certainly, the Jaime Lara Español video provides Manuel trabaja eficazmente, meaning Manuel works efficiently.
Okay, trabajar eficazmente.
You can see how the adverb eficazmente comes right after the verb trabaja.
Right.
Now, while Spanish word order can have some flexibility, placing adverbs of manner after the verb is the most common and natural way to do it.
Okay.
Putting them elsewhere can sometimes sound a bit raro, as the video points out, but strange.
That's good to keep in mind. What happens if you want to use, say, more than one adverb of manner to describe how something was done? Like he did it slowly and carefully.
Ah, that leads us to the second rule, and it's an interesting one. When you use two adverbs of manner together, typically only the second one takes the mente suffix.
Really? Only the second one?
Yeah, the first one often appears in its adjective form, usually the feminine singular form.
That's fascinating. Is there a particular reason for that? Does it affect the emphasis or?
It seems to be more of a stylistic convention in Spanish. Really, it avoids repetition of the mente sound. The example from the video is, Julio hizo sus deberes lenta y concienzudamente.
Okay. Lenta y concienzudamente. So Julio did his homework slowly and conscientiously. Here, lenta is the adjective lento, slow.
Correct. Feminine form.
And only concienzudamente takes the nente from the adjective concienzudo conscientious. It's almost like a grammatical shortcut.
Exactly. It flows better.
Hmm.
Now, let's talk briefly about those little marks you sometimes see above vowels in Spanish, the accents, or tildes.
Ah, yes, the accents. Do they still play a role when we add cimente? Do they stick around?
They do indeed. The third rule is that if the original adjective has an accent mark, the adverb retains it. Conversely, if the adjective doesn't have an accent, the adverb doesn't gain one when you add mente. It's a direct carryover.
Yeah.
The stress stays in the same place relative to the original adjective.
Can you give us a couple of clear examples of that?
Of course, the adjective fácil easy has an accent on the A.
Right, fussy.
So its adverb form, fácilmente, easily also keeps the accent on the A.
Fácilmente. Okay.
On the other hand, the adjective perfecto, perfect, doesn't have an accent.
Perfecto, no accent.
And therefore, its adverb perfectamente perfectly doesn't have one either.
Makes perfect sense. Spanish grammar definitely has its moments of logical consistency. Now, I know there are always a few rebels in any grammatical system. Are there any exceptions to these amente rules for adverbs of manner?
Absolutely, that's our force rule.
Yeah.
Exceptions. Some adjectives either cannot take the mente suffix or they change form in an irregular way when they become adverbs.
Okay.
It's just something you have to learn, really.
Give us some examples of these grammatical mavericks, the important ones.
Well, the most common irregular forms you'll come across are bueno, good, which transforms into bien, well,
Ah, bien.
and
Bueno.
bad,
Right.
which becomes mal, badly, or poorly. You wouldn't say buenamente or malmente. That just sounds wrong.
No, definitely not.
So someone might ask, ¿Cómo cocinaste? How did you cook? And you'd reply, cociné bien, I cooked well.
Bien.
Or, ¿Cómo cantó? How did he sing? Él cantó mal. He sang badly.
Okay, those are definitely good ones to memorize. Bien and mal. What about adjectives that just don't take mente at all? They stay as they are.
Yeah, there are some adjectives like despacio, slow, deprisa, quickly, which is actually a prepositional phrase acting as an adverb.
Oh, okay.
Alto, high or loudly, and bajo, low or quietly, which often remain exactly the same when used as adverbs. You wouldn't add mente to them.
So habla despacio, not despaciamente.
Exactly. So if you ask, ¿Cómo habla Juan? How does Juan speak? The answer would be, Juan habla despacio, or Juan habla bajo. Juan speaks quietly.
Got it. So some change completely, like bien mal, and others stay put. It highlights the fact that language isn't always perfectly predictable, is it?
Not at all. Now, the Jaime Lara Español video also touched upon alternative ways of expressing the same idea, which is really useful for variety.
Right, the alternative constructions. That's Rule 5.
Yes, that's our fifth rule, alternative constructions. Spanish offers a variety of ways to convey the same meaning using different grammatical structures. The video uses the example, Yo soy un conductor prudente. I am a prudent driver. That's noun plus adjective.
Okay, conductor prudente. How else could we express that same idea?
Well, you can use the verb plus adverb construction we've been focusing on. Yo conduzco prudentemente. I drive prudently.
Right, with the hamente.
But you can also use verbo plus preposición con to plus sustantivo. So, yo conduzco con prudencia. I drive with prudence, where prudencia is the noun form.
Con prudencia. Okay, with prudence.
And finally, you can use verbo plus de manera de forma plus adjetivo, giving you yo conduzco de forma prudente or yo conduzco de manera prudente. I drive in a prudent way manner.
Ah, okay. So several options there.
Exactly. And these alternatives can sometimes subtly shift the emphasis or the formality. Saying habla rápido focuses perhaps more just on the speed,
Yeah.
while habla con rapidez might emphasize the inherent quality of his rapid speech. It gives you options.
That's really insightful. It's not just about knowing the mente form. Understanding these alternatives gives you more flexibility and, well, allows you to express yourself with slightly different shades of meaning.
Precisely.
Now, there was one more rule, wasn't there, about a specific adverb, the adverb así.
Yes, the sixth rule focuses on the adverb así. It's a very common adverb of manner that essentially means in this way or in this manner, like this, like that.
Así. How does it typically function in a sentence?
It can sometimes act as a connector, a bit like that's how or thus in English. But more often, it functions simply as an adverb, synonymous with phrases like this way, that way, like this, or like that.
Can you give the examples from the video again?
Sure. The Jaime Lara Español video gives, Si caminas así, parecerás más confiado. If you walk like this way, you will seem more confident.
Mm-hmm.
Me gusta hablar así.
I like talking like this way. It's a versatile little word.
So it's a handy way to describe a manner of doing something in a more general sense without needing a specific mente adverb, maybe, if you're demonstrating something.
Exactly right. So let's quickly recap what we've covered just to tie it all together.
Good idea.
We started with the definition of adverbs of manner words, describing how an action is done, usually answering como.
And we learned the main method of forming them is by adding mente to the feminine singular form of the adjective.
Yeah.
Remembering to change those O endings to A.
Crucial point. We also covered the key rules for their use, typically placed after the verb.
Only the second of two adverbs usually takes mente.
Rule 2.
Accents are retained from the original adjective.
Rule 3.
And there are important exceptions in irregular forms like bueno to bien and malo to mal.
Rule 4. The exceptions. Got it.
And we explored those useful alternative constructions like con prudencia or de manera prudente
5.
and the specific function of the adverb así. That was Rule 6.
It's quite a comprehensive system when you break it down like that.
Absolutely. And if you, our listener, want to really solidify your understanding of this topic and get a fantastic visual and auditory explanation, we highly recommend checking out the Jaime Lara Español YouTube channel.
Definitely.
The specific video we've been referencing is All Learn Spanish, Los Adverbios de Modo, Clase de Gramática. Jaime Lara does a wonderful job of explaining these concepts really clearly.
Yes, and while you're over on YouTube, please do subscribe to the Jaime Lara Español channel. Seriously, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of their future Spanish lessons. They're great.
Yeah, really good content.
And if you found this deep dive helpful, why not share the Jaime Lara Español video with anyone else you know who's on their Spanish learning journey? Supporting great educational content like theirs really benefits the entire learning community.
For sure. And drop a like and a comment on their videos, too. It really helps creators like Jaime Lara.
Absolutely.
Indeed. Mastering adverbs of manner is, well, it's a significant step towards expressing yourself in Spanish with greater accuracy and nuance, allowing you to paint a much richer picture with your words.
So as you go about your day, maybe think about how knowing these adverbs and their formation can change the way you understand and describe everyday actions in Spanish. What new shades of meaning can you now express?
Good question. And what other areas of Spanish grammar might unlock even more expressive power for you down the line? Always more to learn.
Always. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Spanish adverbs of manner.
We hope it has illuminated this important aspect of the language for you.
Until our next exploration, keep on learning and keep exploring.